Hey guys, I'm going to be comparing the MDR zx500 with the MDR zx700. Just letting you guys know, this is the one with the mic. However, they are the same thing, so I'm going to call this the zx700. The MDR zx500 costs about $30 to $40, while the MDR zx700 costs about $70 to $80. The one with the mic will probably cost you about $90 to $100. So basically, I'm going to be comparing the audio quality as well as the constructions of these headphones. So when comparing the construction of these two headphones, I would have to say the ZX700 is much more better than the ZX500. When it comes to comfort, I would have to say the ZX700 is much more better. And to show you, when you compare the headbands, as you can see, the ZX700, which is right here, is much more thicker than the ZX500. It's also made out of better quality material. And when it comes to the ear pads, it goes the same thing. It's made out of better material. It's much more softer, and it's a bit thicker, but not that thick. Also, another thing that causes the ZX500 to be very uncomfortable is the driver itself. As you can see here, the driver is very shallow. It's just very flat. So when you do wear them on, it will touch your ear, which causes discomfort. However, the ZX700, the driver is actually tilted and it goes inward. So your ears won't touch the driver itself, which makes it much more comfortable compared to the ZX500. So that's it for the comfort. For the build quality, I would have to say the ZX700 is still sturdier than the ZX500. Just to show you, I opened these up, and as you can see here, the headband is made out of metal. And if you can extend the headband, you can still tell that it will be continued to be made out of metal. And for the ZX500, you can see that it's also made out of plastic. Another thing is that the headband itself is much more thicker than the ZX500, which makes it seem much more stronger than the ZX500. Other things about the construction, they both have the same cord length. They're both about 1.2 meter long. However, these are double corded while this is single corded, which I prefer better. For this model, the zx701 with the mic, it is L-shaped, so they're both L-shaped. However, obviously the actual jack seems to be built better just because it seems much more thicker. So yeah, I mean, other than that, the housing for the actual cup is much more bigger compared to the ZX500. As you can see here, the little hinge part right here is made out of silver, not made out of silver, but colored silver. For this one, it's just black. And an interesting part about the ZX700 is that it has a hole right there. Not sure if you can see it, but yeah, there's a hole right inside here, which I have no idea what it does, because when you have them on, they actually close it up. So not sure why they made a hole over there. Makes no difference. Just to show you guys how it looks like on your head. The ZX700 actually kind of sticks out of your ears, if you can see here. It's not big, but it does stick out a bit, unlike the ZX500. Which it doesn't stick out at all. And yeah, they look a bit better on your head, but still like the ZX700. So yeah, that's basically it for the construction between the two. So when I compare the sound quality of these headphones, I would have to say the sound quality on the zx700 is much more better than zx500. Overall, I would say this is much more balanced. And for the zx500, I would have to say it's much more mid-forward. Uh, so the biggest difference between the two is the soundstage. I would have to say the zx700 sounds much more 3D compared to the zx500, which sounds very 2D. Um, it's much more wider and deeper compared to zx500. And when you compare the low, mids, and highs, for the low, I would have to say they're basically the same. However, the low on here is a bit more refined. And when you compare the mids, the mid on here is very, very harsh and very up forward. So it's kind of gets annoying after a while. However, for the zx700, the mids are although it's up forward, it's very, very balanced compared to the bass and highs. And for the high between the two, I would have to say the high on here is very recessed. You can barely hear any kind of highs on here, which kind of downgrades the overall sound quality of these headphones. And for the zx700 though, the highs are very, very up forward. I would say sometimes they can get a bit harsh on some music, on some songs. However, they're still very clear and bright, and they do sound well. I'll say they're a bit harsh. But overall, these headphones sound very clear, very precise, and I like the soundstage of it. Yeah, they just sound much more better than the ZX500. The ZX500 sound very 2D-ish. The mids are very, very up forward. It sounds kind of forced. And I would much rather use the ZX700 than the ZX500. So, yeah, I mean, sound quality wise, much more better with the ZX700. So, overall, I would have to say buy the ZX700 over the ZX500. Even though it's a $20 difference or $30 difference, I would recommend ZX700 over the ZX500. And yeah, that's it.